What's up, Brave Hearts community? This is Sean Heineman here with another segment of It's Scary to Remarry, wanting you to love fearlessly. Today, we have a special guest in the house. Now, before I bring her on, and of course, you know how happy I get when I have guests on because there's so many interesting things we're going to discuss on this topic. Should we publicize our relationships on social media? That's the question for today. And I have with me today, my next guest is a mom. She's a content creator, a business owner of Jackie O Management, which I had the honor of working with. I'm a client of hers, so make sure you support the business. and she helps keeping with accounting, bookkeeping, consulting, and also with income tax services. And I want to welcome Brave Hearts community. Jackie, what's going on with you today?
Hey, everybody. Hi, Sean. Thanks for having me on. Listen, this has been a long time coming, and we here. And yeah, thank you for the intro. I don't think you missed anything. I'm a mom. I'm a grandmama too. So yeah, and all the other good stuff in between. I'm a part-time content creator now. So
okay. Well, part-time, it's all good. You still create content. It's all good.
Yeah.
And again, you have helped me with my business, so I appreciate you for that as well. So I worked with you on the business side as well as connecting with you, and got a chance to actually connect with you at the Smoke Free.
Yes, listen, I was so excited about Smoke Free weekend in Houston. I got to meet a whole lot of people who I just normally see on, social media in general. So it was good to get everybody together and just have a great group weekend. It was a great weekend. It was really good.
It was. It was short. I got to meet everybody, but I was like, I gotta leave, and I missed the festivities, at least some of them.
I was so mad, but I got to meet your beautiful wife though, so that was amazing. So yes. So everybody, she's just as beautiful in person as she is on the pics that you see on his social media. Okay.
That's what's up. That's my girl. I wanted to talk about this with you today because this whole thing with publicizing our relationships on social media. Real quick backstory. This is personal to me because I remember when I first met my wife, she was like, or when we first started dating, not even when we met, but when we started dating, she was like, I'm not going to post you until I know that we good. And I was just like, really? I was posting pictures of her already. I was like, well, we're official. She was like, she's a little more discreet.
I don't blame her.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a little old school. I was like, look, we made it official. We're going to make it happen. She was like, nah, kind of been on this road before. I'm not going to post somebody and then, it don't work out. And now I got to delete the pictures and all the other stuff. So
listen, I'm super old school. We didn't even have social media back in the day. Just saying. It was all about word of mouth. And if you see me in the street.
Come on now.
That's it, and then if you're not together no more, you're just not together no more. And I don't know, it's just, it's a quiet breakup, technically. And then, of course, either friends or family who know, whatever. But at the end of the day, it was a quiet breakup. It wasn't all publicized on platforms, the going back and forths and the dramas and all that stuff. So, yeah, more peaceful back then.
It was, right? You broke up, that was it.
That was it. I mean, of course, you're going through your heartbreak, but you're going through your heartbreak in private. Okay. And you're not letting out all your pain and hurt on social media because there was no social media. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you got a letter if they really cared about you. Maybe they wrote you a little letter.
I'm gonna write a letter. I never wrote a letter per se and mailed it to said person. I think I just wrote a letter to get my feelings out on paper because I feel like that was the release for me. That was like social media, just releasing it on paper instead of plastering it all on a Twitter or whatever, So.
Yeah, that's a good way of releasing too.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I got maybe 2 letters from like old girlfriends or whatever explaining why.
Really?
Yeah, like they took some time to be like, hey, my feelings and all these other things, and I actually got them, and I was just like, oh man, that sucks. But I never wrote back. I was just like, oh, I guess it's over.
Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like, okay, so I have a hard time expressing myself verbally, like talking. I can express myself better on paper. So I'm thinking those ladies, were able to get everything they wanted to say off on paper, because the person who's supposed to be listening, sometimes, and I'm not just saying men, because women do it too, we don't listen. Like, this person is telling us how they feel, and we're just sitting there listening to respond, instead of actually taking in what they're saying, and too busy trying to deflect and not take the blame, because that's all we're thinking, that they're blaming us, when they're really not. They're just saying how they feel. It doesn't mean that you agree with how they're feeling, but piggybacking off of a tweet that I saw you do yesterday, I believe, just acknowledge it. That's it. Just acknowledging is not saying you agree. And the whole thing is about communication. We don't communicate no more. We don't know how to communicate with each other no more. So
yeah. With all these social media platforms, we don't know how to communicate.
No, we don't know how to communicate. The art of communicating is not there anymore. Like, when the women took the time to write you that letter, that's an art.
I agree.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just not there.
Yeah, people to shoot you a quick text message, or maybe they will ghost you,
I get it, with all the different types of accessibilities out there, whether it be through a regular phone call, text, DMs, whatever. It's like, pick your poison, because your relationships are different with people. Like, there's people out there that I know our conversations are way better in person. And we might not even talk again until we see each other in person. Quick little text, hey, how you doing, or whatever. But we don't. And then there's some people who I really just text. Like, I know that's our conversation. We can get everything off in a text conversation. And then some people I have to pick up the phone and call them. So it's just about the different types of relationships that you have with different people. So
that's interesting. So you do have people that you have kind of in this funnel where you like, we can communicate just through text, and that's okay.
And because I feel like me and the other parties, we understand that that's how we vibe better. Like, why would I want? Not trying to be rude. If I go hang out with somebody and there's dead air. There's dead air. We're not talking. We're both looking around. We're picking up phones and stuff. And then it's just weird, because then it's like, hey, why we ain't talking like we talk on the phone, or how? So you got to learn your relationships with different people. So yeah. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because I've met people online. It's almost as if they were better online than offline. You meet them in person, it's like, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you why. Because they're not giving you the same thing. Like, they give you this persona here, but then when you really meet them in person, you really getting the kit and caboodle. Like, if you meet me or talk to me, you're getting that same energy. I don't care. Like, you're gonna get happy, mad, sad, whatever form, but you're gonna know that, okay, this is the same Jackie across the board. That's it. I don't have time to put on a persona for nothing and nobody to keep up with. So, and I don't want nobody to ever say what you just said. Like, this person was dope online, but when I met her in person, like, yeah. Listen, I'm dope all over. There you go.
No, that's real, because I was interviewing with the Knights, with the Drunken Knights, when we were out in Houston. Shout out to the Knights. And I remember Swoop was like, he's like, yeah, man, y'all like the same. Talking about my wife and I. He's like, man, y'all the same, like, online as the way I see y'all in person, And to me, that was a huge compliment, because I just am who I am, whether we recording or you see me in person. I'm like, so I guess it's easy for me, but I guess if you grew up with a phone in your hand, maybe you have a tough time with trying to figure out, I guess, real life from social media.
If you grew up with social media, you having a hard time, period. Because I got to experience everything. I was in the era where the Commodore was the first PC. Atari was the first game system, you know? So I got to experience everything. So I feel like I can adjust and adapt, but at the same time, growing up in that era and seeing everything, it can be a plus or minus for me at my age at this point in time. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you still young. You know, we keeping it.
I'm just saying.
No, but I remember those days though. I remember the old, days we grew up in an era where we played outside, but we also had video games too. Mm-hmm. So with my kids, I got little kids now. I mean, I got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, right? I got an 18-year-old daughter too, so I'm all over the place.
Get them out the house. That's all I can say. Just make sure you get the kids out the house. Because I grew up, we played until the street lights came on. Mm-hmm. It wasn't no video games like that. Like I said, we were introduced to Atari, so. Yep. And then as I got older, of course, the systems got better. And then I had kids of my own. And now look what my kids were doing. They were sitting in the house playing games and not running outside and playing hide and go seek or freeze tag and red light, green light. Look, y'all closer to 50 than 40. Let's get it together.
That's funny. Hey, but that's what's up. We out here. Yeah. We're talking about relationships and online and stuff like that. Do you see, and I guess maybe I want to talk about more Black men in particular, right? Mm-hmm. Do you see Black men publicize their relationships? It's from a man's perspective, because I think women don't have a problem with doing it. Mm-hmm. But men, I think we kind of take a different approach. I don't really see too many guys, because some people look at me sometimes and they like, you're doing too much, and I'm like, no, this is real. Like,
you happy. That's how you want to express your, what you share. If that's how you want to express your world to us, then so be it. And then if you was posting drama and madness and negative stuff, they would not say that to you, that you're doing too much. They want to feed off of negativity. They like, what's wrong with just having somebody spread some love on a social media platform? And I think that's what you do, So if anybody says something opposite of that, then they just miserable, sorry, and not happy, and they're deflecting it on you. Okay, so. To answer your question, I don't want to say it's a difference between men and women. I think we do approach things differently. From my experience, I had a husband. He never posted me on social media. Mm-hmm. Nobody, like, people didn't know this man was married. Mm-hmm. And then, like, even when things fell apart or whatever, people really never knew this man was married. So that makes me question, like, why did you never ever not post me? Even when we're married, it's different when you just dating and stuff. We actually married. So why you ain't never post me on social media whatsoever? It's because he was living a whole nother life, baby. And he was still living a single life. And women still just thought he was single. Even if people heard in the streets that he was married, he could convince this person he won't marry. So that's one reason why a man ain't gonna post you on social media, period, because he got a whole nother lifestyle that he living, and he ain't sharing it. And if the man tells me like, oh, what's us for us and between us, which could be true in some aspect, but to never ever post not one picture, and you can go through, I don't delete stuff. I don't have time to go back and delete Facebook pictures. So you can see my old history and see where I posted him, during that time and period in my life. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's one aspect. They out there doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. Shoe on the other foot, same thing for the ladies. They out there doing something they ain't got no business doing. Now, for me, I have no issues with posting my mate on social media. But before all of my hurt and pain and stuff I had to go through with the ex,
Mm-hmm.
If I get in a relationship now, I'm like your wife. I'm not posting you.
Yeah.
Like, I swear on everything. Nobody's gonna know Jackie's dating or even in the inclination of getting married until I do an Issa Rae and post me in a wedding dress. Like that's how private I'm gonna be with my space. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you start sharing stuff like that, it's like a free for all. You leaving yourself open for anything. Anything. So, and then like I said, some people just don't want to see you happy. And some people might want to try to interfere with it. And like when I say I want us to be us and this is for us and I don't want to share everything, I that's what I genuinely mean. So
yeah, I mean, I can respect that. I can respect people's privacy to a degree, you know, because some people, they just like, just because I didn't post it don't mean it didn't happen. You know, so I respect that to the fullest. I think for me, sometimes I think some of it is about it's almost like you can never say that you didn't know I wasn't, you know, that I wasn't married. Right? Like you can't be like, oh, you know, no, you can, like you say, I don't delete any of my pictures, any things of that nature. So if you see these pictures, it's like, nah. And then even sometimes it's almost like a buffer. It's like, you know what? If I, you know, connected to you or whatever, it ain't even going down like that. Like you already know what's, you know, like, nah, I'm good. And then sometimes the lines get blurred with some people, because some people, if you're being nice, sometimes they might think you flirting with them.
Right.
You know. And then how do you feel about that as far as like, how are you nice? Do you feel like you being more nice to people online? Do people kind of approach you like thinking that maybe you're flirting or no?
Okay, listen, here's my thing. I approach people the same way, whether it's online or in person. So I do flirt. I'm a grown woman. If I see an attractive man, but I will tell you this: I don't just come out the gate and be like, argh. I come out the gate and I ask certain questions to find out if said male is single, what level of singleness he is, or if he's married. So when I know the status, gathering the information and what he's telling me, I'm going off of what he's saying, I back off. Like if you tell me you got a girlfriend, but y'all ain't that serious, I don't care. I'm out. Okay?
Yeah.
Especially if you tell me you got a wife, I'm out.
Yeah.
When you clarify how single you are, then that lets me know how far I can go with the flirtation. Because I'm not going to disrespect nobody else's union. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's just me. I flirt, but I flirt with respectfully. Okay.
So you're saying that there's levels to singleness? That's what you're saying?
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, think about it. I'm single.
Right.
I'm not okay. Everybody's single until they're married. That's just period. So even if you're dating somebody monogamously, you still single because you're not married. So there is levels to singleness. Like you single like a dollar bill. Well, I'm single like a dollar bill. That's you. I'm single like a dollar bill because I don't have no prospects. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm like the bottom of the barrel single. Okay. You got levels of singleness where people have, I don't like calling them rosters, but they are actually dating. I don't like saying rosters. If you do it right, you're actually dating to get to know people. And then if you come across somebody that tickles your fancy more than the rest of the people, what you start doing, you start dropping them off and you start focusing on that one part. That's dating. Nobody does that no more. Find me somebody that I can date because nobody's dating no more. Okay. Everybody's dating to get in the draws. You're not dating to get to know the person. Now, if y'all come out the gate saying this is what it is, let's just be friends and kick it, and y'all are not understanding, that's different. Right. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people say that's what they want, and that's what it is. And at the end of the day, it's repercussions. Okay. Yeah. So just make sure you get into those situationships. That's what they call with the right people who are really want situationships. Okay.
Yeah, because I had a guest on the show a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about, shouldn't dating be easy? And
It should be, but it's not.
Yeah. And this isn't to take away from anyone's experience,
Mm-hmm.
but in today's market, and I might catch some flack for this, but don't come for me who hears this. All I'm saying is, in the generation that we're in, people like, hey, tell me my situation, tell me where we're at in this, and we can act accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, back in the day, and I guess I'm telling my age, when we were growing up, you had to have game. You couldn't just be like, hey girl, I got this chick over here, but I still want to get down with you. What you think? Back in our day, it was just kind of more of like you, and I'm not saying it's okay, but you had to have game. You had to be able to talk to her and kind of woo her, this whole thing, and invest some time, and then you go from there. But today it's just like, if we want to hook up, then we just hook up, and that's what we do. So
that's it. Listen, you definitely had to have game, because you want to know why? All we had was telephones, and at some point there was pagers. Yep. So if you call the number the chick gave you, and daddy, sister, brother answer the phone, and she not there, and then y'all just taking messages for her, and the guy keeps, he's being consistent. He's calling like he's really interested in, and if you finally get this person on the phone, it could be work. But at the same time, you're right. You gotta have swag. You had some type of swag if she actually gave you her real phone number. Okay, so
yeah, right.
Now you got DMs. You got cell phones. You got texts. You got email. You got all kinds of crap now. Like how you could communicate and talk to people, and it's the multiverse is open. And then what do you do when you have so much to choose from? It just makes things harder. And I think that's one of the things that makes people having monogamous relationships harder. Now you can date people continental because you can slide in their DMs. You can date people multi-states because you can slide in their DMs. Back in the day, if you lived in Virginia, I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Who was I hollering at? People in that vicinity, catching the bus or driving a car. Yeah. That's it. Now people hopping on planes, trains, and the same.
No, that's real, because in this day and age, I think most people are just a swipe away, right? It's just like, it's almost so many options. I guess with me, when I because contrary to popular belief, once upon a time I was single. People just think I've been married my whole life. I spent a lot of years married, but anyway, that's beside the point. When I did date, when I went through my divorce or whatever, I did when I talked to my wife online and I met her on Instagram, it was cool that she lived in a different state, because I was forced to know her more as a person. We just couldn't just sleep together. I was forced to know her as a person.
You was forced to date, man.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's doing that no more. Like, y'all actually took the time to get to know each other's dislikes, likes, what are your beliefs, and all that stuff. So y'all built a foundation, which is obviously on a solid, firm, strong foundation. And y'all just grew from there. So
yeah. Can you talk to me about your journey through marriage and divorce? And because I want I want you to be able to help somebody, and like, what did you learn throughout your process, and what kind of advice can you give to people who desire to marry? Because people on Twitter the other day, people were saying that they still desire marriage. I'm like, really? That's interesting.
So I would love to know the people who responded and said that they still desire marriage. Have they been married multiple times? That's what I want to know. Because this girl been married multiple times. Okay. So the first time I got married, I was like right at 30. I was 30. And I mean, I'm giving you all the realizations. Now we were friends. When we met, we were friends, and we should have just stayed friends. We shouldn't have gotten married to each other. But we got married. And the thing is, the reason why I got married, because I thought I loved him, and then I felt like I can grow to love him like he deserves to be loved. But I had 3 kids, single. I I ain't ever think another man was gonna come around and love me and my kids, you know, the way he did. So, and then, you know, you got your aunts and your grandmas all in your head throughout your life saying, girl, if you ain't married by the time you're 30, people gonna think something wrong with you. I'm old school, y'all. So like I said, I'm closer to 50 than anything. I'll be 48 in 2022, Lord willing. So that was the first marriage. So anyway, I finally realized, like, you're not giving him what he deserves. So I you know, I walked away from it. You know, everything respectfully, we still friends till this day, but at the end of the day, you know, that was a choice I made that didn't take me to the path I thought it was going to take me. Okay. So now here I go again, doing this thing again. But bear in mind, yes, I have been married twice. So what does that mean? 2 men asked me to marry them. Some of y'all ain't had 1 man ask y'all to marry them. So don't come for me talking about, oh, she been married and divorced twice. Let me know if you had 1 person pop down on that knee, give you a ring. Hi. So listen, all right. So here's the thing. Here I am with the second marriage stuff. Now, I was crazy in love with this man. The sun rised and set on him. Like, I put him on this pedestal. Now I realize I should have never put him up there. You never put no man or woman, fellas, or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. You don't put that person up there on that pedestal like that. If anybody needed to be on that pedestal, it's yourself. Okay? You got, you know, God. So keep it going. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So, but I think I had that man above God. Okay. I thought he probably was God. But anyway, so listen. So obviously, long story short, I found out, you know, he was cheating. But here's the thing, that wasn't the deal breaker. I was hurt and everything. We were separated. I forgave him, you know.
Yeah.
When you forgive somebody, you really forgive them for yourself so you can move on and move past. And I wanted to try to reconcile. So we tried to reconcile once and it didn't work. Separated in 2013, July 2013. This thing dragged out until May 2018, I believe. Yeah, but because I kept trying to work this thing out, but at the end of the day, he was just keeping me on this little string dangling. Like, he didn't want me to be with nobody else or whatever, but he still wanted to be able to do what he wanted to do in general, you know, basically have his cake and eat it too. So he did enough to keep me there for all these years separated. And finally, the epiphany came and I had to let it go. Okay, so got divorced. So I thought everything was going to be white as rain, right? Y'all, like, I really went through the 5 stages of grief, but I didn't know that's what I was going through. I process stuff different. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I process it backwards to go forward. So when I realized I was going through the 5 stages of grief, I thought I had hit those marks, and I'm thinking I'm at, you know, the 4th step, and I'm getting to 5. But then something happened, and I realized I was depressed as hell. Like, I was stuck in depression.
Mm-hmm.
I was stuck in depression. And then once I finally realized that's where I was and everything, I did go to therapy. I had to go to therapy to move on and rebuild my life. Because I always say my life started over at 40. So
me too. Not alone.
I had to, like, I literally, life started over for me at 40. So yeah, therapy saved me. You know, it took me a long time to get there, but I couldn't heal myself no more. Like, as I was a young whippersnapper and then growing up, going through my teens and 20s and 30s and stuff, that ordeal with that relationship broke something in me that I couldn't repair myself anymore. So I needed outside help to put the pieces back together. So, and then I'm here, you know, and I look at stuff different and I see things different. And like, here's the thing. This is where I'm at right now, everybody. I'm not dating. I ain't been seeing nobody seriously since, you know, the ex-husband and everything. So I know I ain't gonna blame the fidelity on the breakup. It was more than the infidelity. You know, I wanted to just blame everything on him, but going through therapy, I had to realize that it won't just him. Maybe I had shortcomings. I wasn't perfect. You know, maybe I could have did things different. It was all about communication. We did not talk. And then even when we was dating and we met each other, I realized we did not talk. If I realized everything I see now, I would have never married him. We wasn't talking when we was dating. What the hell makes me think we talking when we communicating properly when we married? So it was a whole lot of shortcomings on both of our parts and stuff. So at the end of the day, I know I needed to work on me and heal me and to be a better version of me. So when I do stumble across and be ready for another relationship, it's not that version of that woman who was married to that man. So here's the dealio. I ain't gonna lie. A part of me is still that version of that woman because of the way how I love people and how I love in general. And it's like, I don't know if I can switch that. You know, I'm not going to make the person the sunrise and the sunset no more, but I got to learn that balance. Like, I need my personal space. I need my girl time. He needs his personal space. He needs his guy time. So I can't be somebody's world, and I don't want a person to be my world either. So I'm still trying to develop that balance. And that's why I say I'm not ready, because I'm scared I'm going to fall back into that orbit again. So I'm holding myself back, you know, but I just feel like I'm just not ready yet. I'm not there. And then I don't know if I'm going to get there. Yeah. And that's why I say I'm very content right now with being single, because the world has changed. You got dating apps, you got COVID. When I was married, we didn't have all that stuff. Like, I think like MySpace and stuff just got popular and everything when I got married or whatever. So yeah, I never experienced Black Planet. I never experienced any type of dating app, and all this stuff is here now, and I'm divorced. And I want to meet somebody organically, and swiping left or right on the app ain't organically to me. Let me bump into you at a bowling alley when I'm just hanging out with the homegirls. Let me bump into you at the grocery store. Let me bump into you at an event, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But COVID stopped a lot. COVID stopped a lot of that stuff too. So how am I supposed to meet somebody now when the world is different? And that's what I meant by that tweet. The world is different. And I'm not changing with it.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about that tweet, because I tweeted you. I said, we got to talk about this, because in your tweet, you said, I've made peace with not having a mate. The world is different and I haven't changed with it. And I thought that was very interesting. And just hearing what you're saying now, because you know, we are in this COVID age and social media and stuff like that, especially if we coming from a different era. I think being older, because life started over for me at 40 as well, going through a divorce and getting out there again. Like you say, that whole social media thing and talking to somebody online, you like, whoa, right?
All different thing.
Yeah, because I couldn't, because Jackie, I'm telling you, because when I was talking to my wife, I was like, this is totally different, because I've never been on any of the dating apps. The was it Plenty of Fish and Christian Mingle and all of them. Never been on any of
all
them.
That stuff. Yeah, I haven't. Now I have created a profile, and my friend John, he be swiping left and right for me, but I've never ever actually linked up, hooked up. I don't mess with it. I was trying to force myself to change with the world, but I don't want to do these damn apps. Now, ask me again. I'm in Houston now. I have relocated from Virginia to Houston. Y'all know what they say about these men in Houston. I don't know. So maybe I need to get on the app.
Maybe you should get on the app, Jackie. We were in Houston. We were in Houston last weekend. Okay. You know, hey, it's a lot of people out here.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of places. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been out there mixing and mingling and stuff. So maybe I can meet somebody organically without getting on the app. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we just live in a different day and age. You never know who you might meet. So I never thought I would have met my wife online. I thought that I probably would have met her at a grocery store, but
Yeah.
here we are, almost 4 years in. So, maybe, just give it a chance.
I'm open to it. I'm not saying never. I'm open to it, but I have not had a man approach me. Like, men don't approach me. I don't know if I have "Don't Bother Me" on my forehead, tattooed in invisible ink or something, but men do not approach me. And I'm just like, am I not approachable? I don't know. Maybe it's the energy I'm giving off, like, don't F with me energy.
As I was about to say, do you have on the mean face, Jackie? Because I had a.
I'm really a sweetheart, though.
You are, and even on there was a lady that I was on Clubhouse one day, and she asked me. She said, "I don't get men to approach me." She said, "What am I doing wrong?" Mm-hmm. And I told her, and since she asked me, I was like, "I'm gonna be honest." Mm-hmm. She had on the resting bitch face on her profile picture.
I don't think I have a resting bitch face on my profile picture.
You smiling on yours, but I'm just saying,
But when I'm in person, I do have a guard. I think I have this guard, and maybe I do give off this energy, like, don't bother me energy, whatever. I think when somebody does start talking to me, my whole face changes and I start smiling. I smile when I talk and all that stuff. But if I'm just sitting there and I'm on my phone, maybe I do look like, resting bitch face. So who knows? So y'all need to let me know. When y'all meet me, let me know if my face is resting like a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, because to me personally, as a man, there's nothing more attractive than a Black woman who smiles.
Yeah, I need to smile more often.
Yeah, it's very inviting. I was in a grocery store. It was probably about 3 months ago. And this girl worked there. I guess she thought I was trying to holler at her or something, right? I walked up on her. She just automatically assumed that I was going to ask for her number or something. I was like, I was looking for something in the aisle. But the way she looked at me was like, oh my God, please don't say nothing to me. And I was just thinking, girl, you work here. You know what I'm saying?
How did she react when you asked her where the tomatoes were or something, whatever you asked her?
Jackie, her face went from resting bitch face to not happy, but just more of like just base level.
I'm at work, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, because my wife, she always tell me, she like, you always showing your 32 teeth in your mouth. Every time you talk to somebody, you always smiling. And I'm just like, to me, that's just me by default.
Hey, listen, you happy at home too. That's saying a whole lot when them 32 teeth always showing. So yeah, you're probably right. She probably thought you was going to approach her if she reacted like that. So yeah, I will say this though. I probably do give off something, because most of the time when a guy approaches me, my brain automatically goes to, you're only talking to me because you're trying to figure out how long it's going to take for you to get into my panties. You know what I'm saying? And I swear that's been my first thought every time since I've been single. Okay. So I will say I did actually have a conversation with somebody and that thought never crossed my mind. So that was refreshing to know that I can have a conversation with a gentleman, fluently, because the conversation never stopped. It was a good conversation and nothing nasty or sexual. I haven't had a conversation like that probably ever with a man, to be honest with you. Because if I had the conversations with the same first conversation I had with this gentleman with any one of my ex-husbands, I would have never been married, because I would have known, like, this is not the person for me, or I know what level of this relationship is going to, you know what I'm saying? This person's not worth this part of my time. Like, we just going to be friends and keep it moving. So we're not communicating like we should. We're not asking the right questions in these streets no more. And then honestly, sometimes when you ask the question, some of these women don't care no more. And I don't understand why, because at some point you want to be married in some type of monogamous relationship too. So why are you ignoring the fact when a man tells you he's with somebody, you're still trying to pursue him?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, because I have two questions that I want to ask you that I'm thinking as you talk. This thing about monogamy today, it seems as if people are pressing up against it, where they're pushing like, oh, we don't have to be monogamous in today's age. We were never meant to be monogamous, and we're like animals and all this other stuff. And I'm just thinking like, this is a real trend going on. I'm starting to hear a lot of people talk about this stuff, and I'm thinking, so y'all just gonna throw monogamy out the window, huh?
Okay, so I'm not going to say throw monogamy out the window because I'm old fashioned. That's what I grew up on. That's what I learned. You know what I'm saying? So, but as I'm older and I'm traveling on this different journey as a single woman, technically think about it. Go back to biblical times. None of those guys was just with one woman. True. So I'm gonna say this, and I've said it before on Let's Keep It 100 that I do with Nicole Bex. Hey, Nicole, I didn't even mention my boo. Hey, well. So I feel like monogamy was created based off of money. Somewhere down the line, the government figured out I can make money off of marriage. If we can get people to steer this way and say monogamy is the way of life, we're going to get people who going to get married. We're going to get people who marriages ain't going to work. They're going to get divorced. What they need lawyers. At the end of the day, who getting the money? Government entities are getting the money because you got to go to the courthouse and get your licenses and stuff or whatever. You back in court again because you getting divorced. You got to hire lawyers so they making money too. So it's marriage is really an institution. Marriage is a business. When people say marriage is a business, it really is. I'm not trying to downplay it or demean it, of course. But at the end of the day, that's how the government looks at marriage, as it's a business. And that's why I feel like monogamy was pushed in our face. I really feel like the world didn't start with monogamy. It was forced on us. So when you hear those people say, we weren't built to be monogamous, technically, I want to say there's truth to it. If you want to go from biblical stance, because I'm telling you, the men won't. It was out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Talk about Solomon and David. Them guys. They
was out there too. I'm just saying, no shade. Ain't that what the Bible said?
Yeah. Are you? Let me ask you this then. So are you okay with sharing?
Am I who?
Would you be okay with sharing?
Okay, I know selfish. I would be open to it, but it has to be something that's agreeable upon both parties. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I feel like if the man comes to you and says he wants an open relationship and you agree with it, that don't mean he's gonna jump on it. That don't mean he's gonna use these hall passes. I think that man just wants to feel like he still has that part of freedom. I want to say that man wants to feel like he still has options and he can still make choices. Because a lot of men feel like when you get married, it's clank, clank. You see what I'm saying? And it really isn't. But unfortunately, people go through things and life experiences, and that's how people come up with their way of thinking. Everybody has a different experience with different things. So.
Yeah, because as I hear you talk about the whole marriage piece and people feeling locked down. Because a lot of times I do believe that, unfortunately, we really don't paint a really good picture of marriage. Because a lot of single people will be like, "Why get married?" There's so many bad, verbiage that people use, the old ball and chain, and all these different things. And so it makes marriage look bad. Because matter of fact, I did a Facebook post the other day. And I talked about, I guess it's kind of taking a different turn a little bit, but I asked the question, I asked men, and it's funny because all the women jumped in after I asked we did. Right? Yeah. I said, how do you feel when your wife constantly turns you down for sex? Now, here's the thing, like you said, being locked down, because there were guys who were commenting, I'm going to do a video on this as well. They was like, so she going to be mad at me if I slept with somebody else. So I'm thinking like, Okay, so is this thing really where if you do have an open relationship, are people using this as a way, like you say, to have their freedom? Because in marriage, things do change.
Yeah.
Because it's like y'all were having crazy sex when y'all were single. You get married, now you ain't doing it no more. And he's looking like, I'm committed to you. And I did a couple of videos on it. But anyway.
Start asking questions though, because that's not normal for a woman not to want to have sex with her husband, in my mind. Normally it's the man that's shooting her down, because it's only one or two things, baby. Either you can't get it up or you out there in them streets. I'm sorry. That's it. It's only two factors. And if you don't talk about it, how you gonna figure it out? You know what I'm saying? So if a woman we go through things, maybe our libido kind of dying down, communicate. Maybe we're not feeling pretty right now because we don't put on 10, 15, 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And y'all don't get these rolls. Please no. Jackie got rolls. Y'all gonna get them. That's like, but you understand what I'm saying? It's all about communication and figuring out. That's the type of man I want. I don't want the man to just be looking and not saying nothing. Let's talk about it. So yeah.
So it kind of seemed like you are willing to make some changes with the times.
Okay, listen, I am, but I'm still old-fashioned at heart, though. Okay, here's the thing. I'm old-fashioned. If I'm with you, and say this man comes to me 5-10 years down the road, and he says, this is what I've been thinking, this is what I've been feeling. I love you. I don't want to leave you or nothing like that. But are you open to having an open marriage? If this man is willing, strong enough mentally to come to me, because a lot of black men scared to have this conversation. That's the problem. Y'all scared. Y'all think we automatically gonna shut stuff down. And this is why you're not communicating with us properly. Please talk to us. That's all we want. Come to us and express how you feel. I'm not going to shoot you down. I'm like, my husband came to me. This is what he's saying to me. I need to listen. I'm going to be open-minded about it. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be open-minded about it. If I love him enough, and like I said, whatever the conversation leads and how we, come to some type of understanding, and the understanding is, yeah, okay, well, this is what we are. We're going to do this open thing. Who knows? Who says it's open for the rest of our lives? He might get old and tired. You just never know. I'm just saying, men just don't want to feel like they in this bubble. That's all I'm saying. So, but I would be open to it. I'm not saying walking right into and stepping into an open relationship, because I'm still old fashioned. But what I'm saying, if I built something with this person, why would I want 15 years to go down the drain? We both changing and evolving. So let's understand what's going on and what's changing, and try to do this change together. So there you go. Let me throw this one thing out there that me and Nicole had this conversation. All licenses are renewal, or you can renew them except for a damn marriage license. I don't know why, but we do. It's all about the coin. So what I'm saying is, people say, why should I get married? Maybe, okay, if y'all don't want to get married, and y'all, this couple that's been together for X amount of years, and say this person gets sick or whatever, all of a sudden the mama or the sister or the brother come in, they making all of these decisions. Y'all been together for 15, 20 years, 10 years, whatever, and they pushing you out the door, out the window. You can't make that one decision. You know what your partner wants, but they don't care. They're going to do what they want. How about y'all just go get a power of attorney? The power of attorney is easy to, dissolve than a marriage license. So it's just a thought for those who are thinking on a different wave pattern, but if you're together that long, go get at least a power of attorney, so you can do these things for your partner if they can't do it for themselves later on down the road. So yeah.
Ooh, that's something to think about.
It is. I mean, the real question is, do I want to get married again? It's not on my priority list. It's not on my to-do list anymore. I've done it twice. You know what I'm saying? So and nothing against women who still have that that pink cloud of, oh, I want to get married. I can't wait to get married. I know what my wedding dress gonna look like. I want the house with the white picket fence. They never experienced it before. So let them have that experience. And I hope that's the only one they're gonna have with it. But for me, it's just not a priority no more. I've experienced it. I lived it. And like at this point in my life, I just want to date. I don't want the person in my space every day, in my face every day. And just have some kind of balance or whatever. And I'm good. I just don't need the marriage thing right now in my life. So
I hear you. Like you say, you done been through it before, and marriage isn't for everybody. I always tell people, I'm like, look, it's not for everybody, because the work that it takes to put into it, you know, you have to be intentional every day.
I don't mind the work. My ex cheated on me. I was willing to put in the work and forgive and reconcile, but it just didn't work out. So I will put in the work. My thing is, I don't want to put my heart on the line no more to get broke like it was broken before, because I don't know how that repair session gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I'm at one point. Let me tell you something. I was gung ho. I was excited about being single again, but then when you really out there and you see what it is, woo, when they say slim pickings, slim pickings. So the thing is, I was so excited about it. I was the joy, the outcome, the feelings all outweighed the fear at one point. Today, December 18th, 2021, talking to you at 12:53 p.m., the fear outweighs the possibilities. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just keeping it 100 up here. I am afraid because I put my heart out there, it just gets broken. How many times can you keep putting pieces together?
Yeah. That's real.
Every time you broken, you lose a piece of yourself. Yes, you're rebuilding yourself, but you ain't rebuilding yourself to the person you was prior. That person takes something away every time. And when you put these pieces back together, they're not all the pieces ain't there. I'm just saying.
That's true. That'll preach, because if you break a vase, you know, you can put it back together, but there's still little fragments of
little nicks and fragments. So I'm tired of defragmenting, period.
I know, right? Because even if your computer isn't what they call it, defragmented or whatever, how slow it runs,
how slow it goes.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it takes that long for some people to recover, because you need to be defragmented.
So let me do this thing where I'm at right now. We'll see how it goes later on in life. But I'm looking forward to new things in 2022. Like I said, I just did this move. I'm excited about it. I wanted a fresh start. That was one of the main reasons why I left my home state of Virginia. And Houston just been so amazing every time I would visit. And the energy is so different. The people are amazing. And I was like, let me come on over here and see what Texas did.
Hey, representing Texas. Yeah, I never thought I'll be living here, but here I am.
You here.
Here you are, here in Texas. You know, so.
Listen, small world, baby, small world.
Small world. Jackie, this has been I just love the candid conversation. I could talk to you for hours, because there's so much I want to ask. But
I gave y'all a sneak peek.
I know, right? For the sake of time, I want to be mindful, because you know people got short attention spans.
It's all good. I hope they got something out of it. And I hope I did help somebody, you know. But yeah, it's all about healing. And it starts with yourself. So
yes, for sure. Jackie, let everyone know who's listening and watching how they can get in touch with you, your contact information, business, all the other good stuff. Don't give too much of your business out, because some people might be trying to
listen, y'all. Thank you for listening. If you hung out this long, I'm just Jackie. Y'all can catch me. I'm gonna make it real simple. Like I said, part-time content creator. Y'all can go to imjustjackie.com. That's my website, and I haven't posted lately, but it'll have all my YouTube, Twitter, all my social media handles and stuff is up there. If you need help with finances, income taxes, you want to start a business and you don't know how to start or what type of entity or whatever, contact me. I'm Jackie O Management. I can help you get started and grow. You can reach me at Jackie O Management. I'm gonna give y'all the easy email, JackieOManagement@gmail.com. There you go. That's the easiest one. Or go to the website, JackieOManagement.com. Everything's there for you.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Well, Brave Arts community, you heard it here, because Jackie has helped me as well. She's professional. She's fast. I love what she do. I'm going to continue to work with her in the future, because there's some other things I need to, work with. So,
come holler at me.
Oh yeah, I got you. So make sure, and I'm gonna make sure I have everything linked up in the show notes as well, so people can.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry it took so long, but I was between the move and everything. It's been a time, but I'm glad we did it today. It was really good. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I knew we was gonna make it happen. Brave Arts community, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and share this video. Make sure you connect with Jackie as well, and leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you get your podcasts. You listen to your podcast, and also if you are watching this via YouTube, I would love to hear what you have to say in the comment section about today's segment. We talked about so much. So yeah, holla at me. This is Sean Heineman here at It's Scary to Remarry, wanting you to love fearlessly with special guest.
I'm just Jackie.
Yes. Take care, people.